guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna do a different type of video where I'm gonna react to a Danny Hamond video that just came out called My Train Finding Basics. So let's go ahead and start with it.
Hello again, rail fans. I got some new signs back there on the fence. These are from Rod Robinson in Arcata, California. Now that private crossing sign back there is exactly what it says. It identifies a private railroad crossing and warns you to be extra careful going over it. Now, I've never seen one that's done quite like that, so much appreciated.
Okay, I haven't seen a sign like that. Well, I've seen a private crossing sign, but I've never seen that sign on the left, impaired side clearance. I wonder what that is. He'll probably explain it in a second, so let's see.
On that one. Also, there's California's version of stop close clearance signs that we have down here. You know, the ones that are basically stop signs.
Oh, so that's what it is. It's a clearance sign. Yeah. Why did I think of that before? Like the BNSF sign next to it.
Signs, and they say stop, dismount, or the signs that say will not clear man on side of car. Well, that's the California version, impaired side clearance. Both of those from Rod Robinson in Arcata, California, and very much appreciated. Now, I get a lot of emails and comments from folks asking pretty much the same kind of question. How do you find the trains when you go out rail fanning?
Okay, I know a lot of people think that finding trains and stuff is so easy, but here's the thing. Finding trains is not easy. It's a lot of waiting, sitting for hours. Some days you don't catch nothing. A couple weeks ago, didn't see nothing. I mean, I saw one train today. That was it. I've seen 2 trains in 2 days, which is not great. But I mean, I didn't go rail fanning yesterday, but I just happened to stumble across a train. So, alright, let's go ahead and continue.
Whenever I go out, I wait for hours and sometimes I never see anything. Well, my videos don't show it, but that's happened to me an awful lot too. But it wouldn't be very interesting to put that in videos. The way I reduce my odds of coming home with nothing in the camera is preparation and research. I have spent years and years buying timetables and maps and atlases and things that will orient me toward an area and show me where the railroad stuff is. You can get a lot of it online. I'm not up to speed on a lot of it, but because
Okay, so yeah, a really good thing is openrailway.map.org. It's a really cool website I found a couple weeks ago. It's all the subdivisions that you can find. I mean, there's not everything, but there's stuff in other countries just aside from America and North America. There's most of Asia, England, Europe, South America, Canada, Mexico. There's a lot of places that have it. I don't know about Greenland. I didn't look up there, but I know there's a lot. I'll have to look about even more, so I don't know. We'll see.
Because I've got all this paper research with me, but there are plenty of places to get that information online. Now, the other important thing, and I know I harp on this a lot, it's the radio. The radio is your best.
Okay, the radio is one of the most important tools of rail fanning. And actually, I have that exact radio, the Udinen BC75XLT. I have that same one, except I don't have that antenna. I actually have, I'll put a picture on my community page, but I have an antenna that goes about 2.5 feet into the sky. This thing's massive. You hear that? It's still going. But I have that same scanner. Everything's falling, okay. Because if you don't use this, you will never know when a train is gonna come right up on you. So always got to be prepared.
source of current intel on railroad operations. You can listen to the radio. Once you get used to it, once you learn the jargon, once you learn the places they're talking about, that can really help you get to where the trains are and be there when they come by. Once you're familiar with your area, start listening for mentions of those places on the radio, and you'll be a better rail fan, and you'll have better luck when you go out. Let's take a look at a typical Saturday morning.
Okay, so he does a lot of rail fanning around Tampa. I do a lot of rail fanning around the south area of North Carolina. I'm down east of Charlotte, west of Hamlet, west of Wadesboro, and east of Monroe. I'm not saying where I am, but I'm somewhere in between there, and I don't see too much, but I mean there's a single main near my house, and I hear trains constantly. It's one after another on weekdays now. Weekends, not much. We don't hear a lot during the weekends.
Morning for me. Early on a Saturday, I'm headed out toward the CSX main lines between Tampa, Plant City, and the Bone Valley. I'm looking for anything moving, and after hearing several trains way out at Lakeland, something closer to me lights up the radio.
Something that I wish I did have was this, is like, if I had this, here's the thing though, you see on the far right, that's all wires. Your car would be full of wires everywhere. So, is it really that great? Not really, but I mean, for rail fanning it is, so I wouldn't complain.
73924 Miller, circle line 1A, main track, south direction. NAS East Tampa on the main track. The AZA 916.8 on the main track.
Okay, I know exactly where this guy is.
So it sounds like there's some train going on to the Palmetto subdivision, AZA 916. So that sounds like some train headed out of Bradenton or headed to Bradenton Yard probably, I don't know.
Is going. That dispatcher just gave train 0700 track authority from East Tampa down to the AZA 916.8. That's a milepost location. East Tampa is on the main track running from Yeoman Yard to Bradenton, and the AZA 916.8 is the switch for Tropicana Yard in Bradenton. This line runs parallel to US 41 along Tampa Bay's eastern shore. Now, he's just now pulling from the yard, so I know I can pick a spot somewhere along US 41.
See, here's the thing. I'm not very familiar with the AZA or the Brooksville sub in Florida. Now, I know, like, the A line, the S line going up through there, and a little bit of up by North Jackson, North Florida, and I haven't said really anything about the Tallahassee line, the Florida Gulf and Atlantic Railroad. It's either Florida Georgia and Atlantic or Florida Gulf and Atlantic. It's one of those. I'm pretty sure it's Gulf though.
And have time to set up for him. That's what I'll do. About 5 more miles and we're in a neighborhood known as East Tampa. There's a big phosphate plant here called Mosaic Riverview. It's been here for decades under several different owners. All those hopper and gondola cars are for the one customer here, Mosaic. I turn into a crossing I suspect will be...
See, something that is weird about Florida is that there is a bunch of rail service all on the east and central and north Florida. But you look, Fort Myers, Sarasota, Naples, there's like nothing out there. I mean, there's the Palmetto sub, but that's it. There's nothing. And you got the A-Line, Tri-Rail, all these other places, and then Brightline's taking over, going to Orlando already, and soon going to Tampa if that ever happens, which I assume it will.
Pretty light on road traffic. US 41, an old US 41. This is signal territory, but the signals end up there at the switch for East Tampa Yard. It's dark territory from here on to end of track in Bradenton. Old US 41's main attraction is East Bay Raceway, a dirt track that's been here for at least 40 years when I came to town. But 2024 is its last.
Okay, so I didn't know this, but Bradenton Yard is actually in signal territory, which I didn't. I thought the Palmetto Sub, pretty much all of it was dark territory aside from the Alafire River Bridge and some other spots, because that is that one line. Like I said, I am not familiar with it at all, so I don't know. Also, I don't know. I forgot.
Last season. The owner says he's losing money and can't keep it up. Sad. Another few minutes and here's L730, a daily local switcher that works a dozen or more customers along this route. Today, though, he's making a straight shot to Bradenton.
Something that I'm still trying to work my brain around is how, like, say, Q452 or Q491 or IO38, not IO38, but like the Q trains all went to like M452. I'm trying to wrap my brain around that. If you don't know, I've been in roller coasters for like 8 months and now I don't find interest, but I made a video about that, so don't worry about it. Alright, let's continue.
There are no gates at this crossing, so the bells ring the whole time the lights are activated. On 0700's head end are almost always Tropicana refrigerated boxcars returning empty to Bradenton.
I know I keep pausing, but here's the thing with these, are that Tropicana juice trains are like one of my favorite types of trains, and when they got rid of it and just threw it into 442 or 446 was really sad. I've only seen the Tropicana juice train like once or twice in Selma, but still, like, come on now. Alright, let's continue.
This crew will likely come back north later today with an equal number of loaded Tropicana cars. So that's how you can be pretty sure of getting something when you're out there. Do your research on a line to learn some locations and listen out on your radio.
Like, I just posted a video yesterday. Well, by the time I'm recording this, that video will come out in 2 days. But yesterday, from the time that this video comes out, I posted a video about good spots in North Carolina and then good spots in Florida on the S line. I only did like the S line, but North Carolina I did like most of the places that I've been. I haven't been to all of those places, but I've been to pretty much all of them. Like, I've been to Jamestown, Selma, Pembroke, Marshville, Wadesboro. Like, I've been to all those places, like Charlotte, Pinoka. The only place I don't think I went was Greensboro. If I even put that in, I don't even think I did. And yeah, I think that was it. Alright, let's continue.
Radio for any chatter about those locations. Now, I don't want to chase this train down to Bradenton, so I'll start heading eastward toward Lakeland and the Bone Valley. I heard that dispatcher talk earlier to a couple of trains in that area, so we'll go that way. While driving east on I-4, I hear a likely candidate getting track time.
83404, 83404, 123023, SVC 851.2, B33930, 7266. Inskeep copy. Center line 1A, main track, north direction. South Bradley Yard limit on the main track. North, welcome.
Okay, so if you're a little confused about Florida, like, there's the S line, Brooksville sub, A line, Tri-Rail, Brightline, FEC, and Norfolk Southern, and that's pretty much it. But there's also an area called the Bone Valley, which is below Valrico, Tampa, to Brewster, Welcome, Valrico, Mulberry, Ag Rock, Edison, Bradley, and there's a couple more places.
Welcome, yard 11 on the main track. Over.
Off I-4, I go south on County Line Road and into the Bone Valley, passing Nichols on the way to Edison. Nichols was at one time a community built around the phosphate industry. There were mines and a big IMC Agrico processing plant. What's left of that is still out there, rusting away and slowly collapsing in on itself. I pull into sleepy little Edison, just a mile and a half up the line from Welcome, that place we heard the dispatcher reference earlier. Edison is where the once busy Valrico sub intersects the Brewster sub.
Okay, this is a good, thing. So Valrico sub goes to the left, peels off to the left, I assume to Valrico. I don't really know the Bone Valley that much either. And Brewster goes off probably to Bradley, and Edison is a tiny little area. That signal is a radio signal, and I don't know the full aspects of them. Same with that, you see that box down there with that caution tape on the right? I forget what those are. If you're in the comments, please remind me, because I don't remember.
That runs south from here, past Mosaic's giant New Wales plant, then to Bradley Junction and Ag Rock and Arcadia. After waiting about 40 minutes, our train finally shows up. B33930. The B prefix is for bulk commodity, in this case, phosphate wet rock. 339 makes a daily run between the washer at Ag Rock near the mines and the big processing plant we saw earlier at.
Okay, Ag Rock is at the very bottom south of the Bone Valley, and then Valrico is the very north. And it's really all right there. But it's pretty local to Tampa, and something that a lot of people don't realize is it's kind of a long drive from Tampa to Lakeland. I mean, if I-4 didn't exist, it'd be horrible, but
East Tampa.
Florida is all Ag Rock, and it's all gonna be rock and intermodal, and in South Florida all you're gonna see is rock and stuff.
Edison is right on the edge of a good-sized strawberry field. It's late December and the strawberries all over the area are almost ready for harvest. Amtrak is one of the easiest trains to catch because it's a passenger train and they, by design, have to run on a schedule, on a specific route. Now, Amtrak is not always punctual, but mostly they're pretty dependable. So I went to another spot I know. The old... All that's left of it is the...
Okay, a lot of people don't know, but a lot of people think not Lakeland, but Florida in general is all flat, but you can clearly tell this is not. But especially the coastal plain, northeast Florida, Jamestown on the Fitzgerald is a big one. Alright, let's continue.
Concrete platform and the yellow line on it. This is at milepost 851.8 on the ex-ACL main from Richmond, Virginia to Tampa, Florida, what we now call the A-line. Here is Amtrak's Silver Star, numbered 91, coming out of its Tampa stop and slowing down for its Lakeland stop just ahead over the hill.
Okay, something that a lot of what is kind of crazy is that these electric charger engines on Amtrak are coming to Amtrak now. They're coming on back, because used to they were only up in like the metro area of Chicago, but now it doesn't look like that anymore. So what does that mean? Means something in that Lakeland passenger depot. I don't know why they moved it, probably just for accessibility, but that is sad.
Just like that, he's gone. South Lakeland, which is now the name of the signal here, is an example of the oddities in railroad signaling that are sometimes hard to understand until you delve into the purpose of each signal and its location. South Lakeland is the north end of double track here, where the number 2 main, the one on the right, merges into the single main, the one on the left. This is why the signals for each track are different. I assume that right-hand signal has the lone fixed red light on top because it cannot give a high green or a straight approach here because of the turnout ahead. That's just my guess. Notice also there are 4 lights on the bottom head.
Okay, look right here. Here's something you can see with this. So let's focus on the left side, right? That top head has red, yellow, and green. The middle head, red, yellow, green too. But that bottom head has a red, a white, and a green. Now let's take a look to the right. There's a fixed red on top because you can't get a steady high green or a steady approach. So you can get a limited or medium or slow or restricting. That bottom head has 4 lights on the bottom right. You can get a slow clear, a slow approach, and a restricting. And in the middle, you can get limited is flashing, medium is steady.
Delve into the purpose of each signal and its location. South Lakeland is the north end of double track here, where the number 2 main, the one on the right, merges into the single main, the one on the left. This is why the signals for each track are different. I assume that right-hand signal has the lone fixed red light on top because it cannot give a high green or a straight approach here because of the turnout ahead. That's just my guess. One and enough time I'm hearing something on the radio that's close by, and I know the train and the place.
M45230, over.
45230, go ahead.
Yes, sir, we need to get that BV main, get the bottom of our train, please.
The BV.
Okay, look right here. You see there's 4 tracks right there, right? Let's start with that track in the middle, which is that second one over. Well, from right here. That's the main. That track on the left is an industry track peeling off to the left. The main left track is the second double main, and that the middle is the single main, and the track on the right is a non-used station track, probably. I don't know. I've never seen a train go down it. I don't know what that is for or why that's there.
BV main is what the railroad calls the main line through Winston Yard to the south end. When I get there, M452 is pulling northward out of the yard. I see someone I know working as a conductor on this job, Ronnie Sally out of Jacksonville. He and his engineer are tripling their train today. That means pulling long cuts of cars out of yard tracks and stacking them together on the main line. Apparently 3 long cuts in 3 different yard tracks. It takes a while to make up a train this way, half an hour at least. Fortunately, Ronnie has the assist of a rail crew van that will shuttle him to the coupling points along the length of the train. They must wait for the yard signal before backing in. This one also has that lone red light on top. I think it's a fail-safe to ensure a stop aspect in case the lower one is burned out. And there's our lunar...
See, with this signal head, you can get 2 aspects. Stop and a restricting. That's it. Nothing else. That top is probably just a safe thing, like he said, because it's not the in. Now the other side is the exact same.
restricting signal. Ronnie can now start the
Clear
backup.
of all tracks, got a restricted signal. Jason track clear, start 7, start off at 20 on 20. I got a restricted signal. The other ride, start off 20.
Conductor Ronnie calls to start the shove, but he waits to climb up until the train starts moving, thereby avoiding the violent jolt as the slack runs in. Ronnie will ride the bottom all the way to the second cut, about a half-mile down into the yard. When he gets down there, he'll dismount and over the radio count the engineer in feet down to the joint.
A little bit more 10. 5.
Okay, just imagine the traffic. These people that are just trying to get from point A to point B are so mad. But, like, you gotta go down Airport Road then.
Westbound 767, go to 32, talking there.
Now, we've seen 452 dozens of times, maybe over 100, I don't know. But today's M452 here at Winston may be the most interesting train of the day because of what he's had to do to assemble this 9,200-foot train up and back and up and back. And let me tell you, the traffic out here on the old Tampa Highway, they ain't none too happy about it. Finally, after 25 minutes of this tedious but necessary procedure, M452 is solid and ready for departure. All that's left is the radio job briefing with the dispatcher.
Right here is a good spot. Look at all those wires over there. But okay, so 452 just backed onto his train, and you saw that. So those drivers, they are not happy at all. Alright.
Lead engine today is a CSXT 3016. The trailing engine is CSXT 5491. Both of them has about 2,900 gallons of fuel. We are over this valley on duty at 12:30. Got bulletin number 63975 with 25 messages. We got tonnage is 8515, length 9171. We got 33 loads and 99 empties. We're not a key train today. PTC and trip bottom is working, and the calendar inspection has been done on both engines.
Then arming the end of train device.
25 on the bottom there, 3016.
Yeah, that's what I'm showing. 75 in the rear.
Alright, drop my 3. I'm in the clear if you want. Go ahead and buzz that JF.
Now these drivers are so happy to get out.
Buzz brief for him. I'll meet you at Wabash, though.
Wabash means Wabash Avenue, the next crossing up the hill on the main line. Conductor Ronnie will get the rail crew van to take him up there and meet the head end of the train. As M452 climbs the hill toward Lakeland Junction, Ronnie calls for an under 4 step-on.
I'll be catching up on the 4 there at 3016.
Alright, I'll be on the 4.
This is slang for slowing the train to less than 4 miles an hour so he can safely step aboard the locomotive. This procedure saves a lot of time versus bringing the train to a full stop and then getting it all rolling again. Sometimes it's not very easy on this uphill grade.
We're glad that E. Hunter Harrison, which no one really liked, but put an end to trains having to stop to let people on, which saved time.
A wave goodbye from conductor Ronnie, and M452 is on its way. With no work to do in Wildwood, their next stop will be Waycross, Georgia, sometime later tonight. My next move was to head home until the radio piped up and said, "There's one more train coming your way." Being this late in the day, I knew it was Amtrak 92. So I lit down at a spot that longtime friends of the channel will recognize, though the signal appliances have changed a
Oh, if you know, you know. This is the signal that every single video that he starts on his intro is the spot 7.5 years ago. It's the distant to Plant City holdout, distant to Winston. It's Amtrak 92 coming northward, but this signal, it just throws memories back.
little, and the passenger train is going in the opposite direction.
Trackage 13 south, clear, distant, Plant City holdout.
It's still an approach-lit signal, though this side doesn't light up until the train is almost past. Amtrak trains still carry the red rear marker lights as per the rules, and most of the newer Viewliner and Superliner cars have the brake indicator lights on the side. Green for brakes released, yellow for brakes applied. The crew in the cab can see those lights in their rearview mirrors. Oh, and I almost forgot. Lunch at this outing was at a Lakeland place that I've heard people raving about for a while. Lovebird, almost famous fried chicken down on South Florida Avenue. I'd bet $1 that this place started out life as a Texaco gas station, maybe in the 1960s. It was just before noon and there was already a line out the door, and all the tables were full. That's always a good sign. I got a quarter chicken white, fried chicken the way Grandma used to fry it, though this had more spices than Grandma ever used. Excellent, excellent fried chicken. Baked beans and Gouda mac and cheese, all delicious. Out the door with tax, it was $11.18. Lovebird is now on my have-to list whenever visiting Lakeland. One other thing, Lovebird is at 2101 South Florida Avenue in Lakeland, just in case you're in the area and looking for it. Can't recommend it enough. Excellent fried chicken.
All right, well, I think that was a reaction. And for me, it is 11 p.m. on a school night, on a Sunday night. I need to get to bed. I would react to the last 2 minutes of it, but I'm done here. See you guys again, or I'll see you guys soon. Good night.